I would like to invite you to another episode of our renovation. In this episode, you will see a big step in achieving this project, which is preparing the reinforcement and putting the ceiling. I have a feeling it's so close now, and we will be able to move in soon. For now, we are living 8 kilometers away from this place. We have been renting a house since January. This will be the last house, I hope. I believe we'll be able to finish before the end of the year. It's very important for us to finish, because the owners are going to sell the property at the end of the year. Now we can move on to the reinforcement. I have never had to deal with tying something like this, but I must admit, it's not quite complicated. In fact, it's even pleasant and distressing. All that remained was to pull the prepared reinforcement up to the ceiling. Our house will be around 120 square meters, which might seem too small for some people, but not the number of square meters makes it comfortable to live in. I'm sure it will be enough for our family of 3. I am a person who likes cleanliness. It brings me peace of mind. I like to clean, but I don't like to do it too often. For me, a small house equals cleanliness, especially in a pet-friendly house. Additional formwork had to be prepared. Most of the boards we use came from the previous attic floor in the house. You might ask why we didn't stick to the wooden ceiling construction. We considered it, but in the end, we stayed with concrete. The main reasons were durability and the sound absorbing. In the houses we lived in before, you could always hear everything the tenants were doing. And believe it, they were doing all kinds of things. Now let's back to the ceiling. As you can see, the wooden formwork is ready. The only thing left was to fill the gaps between the boards to minimize concrete leaking. For this we used foam filler. Once dry, the excess had to be removed, which was also quite a pleasant thing to do. The first floor will have bedrooms and a small toilet. The main bathroom will be on the ground floor. At the moment, I'm not convinced that this is the right design, but the current layout of the house doesn't really allow for huge changes, especially as I don't see any other possible use for this room where we have decided to put the main bathroom. There is still some time to make a final decision until the sewer pipes have been laid. Maybe you have some experience with a bathroom located on a different floor than the bedrooms. The tying process continued. The whole thing took us several hours. As you can see, I had my own tying method and my husband had his. In my opinion, any method is good to achieve the goal, but I think he did it better. Every day on the building site, we have little animals around us. In the meantime, we placed the ventilation pipe from the lower bathroom and connected it to the ventilation chimney. Finally, it was the time for the heavy equipment. First, the pump arrived, and then the concrete mixing truck. It took around 2 hours to pour the whole structure. To better spread the concrete between the reinforcing steel, we vibrated.
Vibrating will pull out the air bubbles from concrete, so it can properly fill everything. We will have to wait a month for the concrete to set and harden properly. I'm curious how it will look like after removing all formwork. If you like our content, subscribe, comment or share. Thank you! Spreading and leveling was definitely exhausting, but the task was done. And that's the most important thing. We will be watering the ceiling for 2 weeks to make sure the concrete doesn't crack. See you in next episode.